So I would like to remind what are the general objectives for ICAR. The story started in 1994 during the ICAR session in Ottawa, where the unethical quality assurance policy was defined by ICAR. It was installed in a more general frame of quality assurance for the whole activities of ICAR, but at that time only existed the special stamp. And thereafter has been developed the certificate of quality that everybody here knows, and unethical aspects are now included in the general frame of the certificate of quality. At that time, the general objective was to develop an international AQA, an ethical quality assurance system, for DHI, daily health improvement, based on harmonized laboratory practices. The goal that's still actual for every part of the dairy industry, not only for DHA, is confidence, equivalence, comparability. So these items are valid for inside labs or within labs and within countries, and between countries. So it's a matter of general harmonization and comparability. So this is for the worldwide genetic evaluation, but also for the genetic trade. So this policy has been implemented by the MAHC, the Standing Committee on Milk Analysis, and through the development of guidelines for the harmonization of unethical practice. So this deals with unethical methods, whatever reference or routine, and deals with quality assurance for labs. And the cornerstone of this system has been the implementation of the International Network of Reference Laboratories for the milk recording analysis. To speak about the roles of the laboratory network, ICAR Reference Laboratory Network is an international platform for milk recording. So it's a place where we intend that laboratories can meet or can speak to get and to relay information about analysis, to relay also good laboratory practices, and also international guides and standards. So the international platform is a communication platform at first. So you see internet, website, and meetings. Also to provide precision traceability and encourage to consensual international true values to routine labs via network members. It's a little bit more complicated, but at that time, labs works within countries or region. If they have coordination, it's only local coordination, not yet worldwide coordination. So the role of ICAR is to connect all this and assess the system, to provide consistency. So this is the issue of unethical data harmonization, and in bracket you have proficiency testings, reference materials as examples of issues. This is to develop collaborations, also programmed for laboratory purposes. So the cooperation may be also for education, educate labs, educate also reference laboratories on optimum practices and harmonized practices. So there is a model, an explanation provided every year to ICAR member organization. The major task undertaken by ICAR is the laboratory and ethical anchorage. The intent are to establish measurable links that may quantify the links for local, national, regional levels to the international levels. We need to harmonize laboratories on an international collective reference. Major point, and we'll discuss about what it is thereafter. The means are international guidelines and standards to achieve a harmonized methodology, integrity lab proficiency studies to assess lab trueness traceability, and reference materials to improve trueness. This is this theoretical structure that we have in the bottom, national networks or regional networks, which correspond to PT proficiency schemes. And all these schemes should have a representative lab in an international network, the so-called ICAR reference laboratory network. And this reference laboratories should be involved in both PTs in their countries and also at the international level. Thus, they are in between, they can provide a link. So now we have to describe how the link can be produced, how it can work. So the role is to get the information and compare through PTs to the international level. It's not yet achieved. And thereafter to produce good reference and provide them to the national levels. So these are some projects are undertaken, especially for somatic cell counting. So there will be a special addressing by Sylvia Orlandini about this topic. What laboratories can be a member of the network? So there are some criteria to accept these laboratories. They may be national wind test organizer, or reference material supplier, or master laboratories for standardized calibration. Sometimes they are overlapping between them, involving teaching, training in laboratory techniques, provide information and ethical methods, make evaluation and ethical methods and instruments, or carry out researches on ethical methods also, or be involved in an official mission of national regulatory control of analysis. That's all the possibilities. There can be the whole panel, and laboratories can have one or more, or the whole as a criteria to be accepted in the network. And the best is it is that they have all the capabilities here listed. Also, in the end, you have the routine testing laboratories. We have no specific competence of reference labs, but only operating routine analysis. But as far as there are only alone, or there are only two per country, it's very much difficult to organize a whole system for two labs. So they can connect directly to the international level. Otherwise, I can connect to a neighbor system. For example, you have a laboratory in Luxembourg who is joining the network of Belgium. That's an example. But anyhow, there are possibilities for the small systems to join other systems. So, what is the present situation? So, not to detail the list, this is a new list. Maybe it is not totally exact because I've noticed that Zimbabwe is no more a member of ICAR, so I should delete the lottery, but I had no time to do it. And it has been, in the past time, a member. So it's 41 noted of 34 countries, probably more, 40 laboratories from 33 countries. So, among which we have the full number for cow, and 19 are also operating for goat milk, and 16 for sheep milk. And we have the chance to have welcomed three new members in 2011. Croatia, Germany with a second member. Germany had already one in the past, and Japan. So you can see the distribution of the members throughout the world, or in red. It's a good coverage, but not all the members of ICAR. You see in yellow the ICAR members who have not yet nominated a reference laboratory. So it can be explained by two situations. Either they do not deal with milk, maybe only beef, or maybe wool, or maybe maybe they have no system yet implemented. They should be invited to develop a system. Or maybe they're not interested. That's an gist. Well, we cannot force, anyhow. So we have new members in ICAR from the eastern countries, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, maybe Romania. We have also in South America, Latin America, we have Chile, who could nominate a lottery, could be interested. Uruguay, for instance, Ecuador, I think, also. Mexico, many possibilities. And also we are targeting a big country who has been member of ICAR for long, Australia. So we should connect with Australia too. This is not to be scrutinized, but we'll have the data in your hand. You can look at the tables later on. But these are statistics about the different capabilities in terms of number and percentage. Now, it's better to look at this in terms of figures. You had evolution from the beginning, in 1996, of the membership on the left. So, strong increase during the first years. Stability, and we are coming to see a new progression, a new start, maybe. I hope it will continue. But competence, national ring test, again, they follow the same progression, but not all the members are this competence. The same for reference material suppliers. For the mass territory for centralized calibration, it's exactly the same. The number not the same, but the shape is the same. Training laboratory needs also. We can have differences. Some competence are higher than others. Information analytical methods. And the criteria where the progression was the strongest deal with evaluation of natural methods, because it's a special ability which demands much skill, and it has been developed during time. It didn't exist at the first time. And it has been implemented thanks to the system of evaluation developed by ICAR. Research natural methods, it doesn't move a lot because this is generally a competence that's devoted to government organization. And, it's not something we can develop very easily. So if we gather all this, we can see that the trends are similar, very similar as the progression of the membership, not at the same level. But in percentage, we have a number of competence which are very stable and others who are progressing quite significantly at the beginning and become stable thereafter. And we can say that the number of competence are progressing anyhow in general. This table is a little bit tough to digest maybe. So you have the number of criteria on the first column, 8 criteria, 7 criteria, and in percentage beside. And the third column shows the number of labs showing the number of criteria. And what's more interesting is the last column, the percentage of laboratories who have at least 8 or at least 7 or at least 6 of the components. So we can see in percentage that we have almost 40% of the network who already have 3/4 of the eligibility criteria, 6 of 8 criteria are shown by 40% of the network. And 63% of labs show the half of the capabilities requested. So the progression here has not been very strong during the last year, but in 2011, the last membership has shown a new increase in the capabilities. The last line showed only those labs who have no the requested competence, but only performing the routine analysis. So they have been directly linked to the international level. In the network, a specific activity has been developed from 1996, International Proficiency Testing Scheme. The organization is made twice a year, and from Riga in 2010, there's 4 new PT rounds organized. So at the present time, we have 13 to 19 members of ICAR labs which regularly participate. So it's not a big part of the whole. Technical methods which are involved in the PTs of ICAR are reference method to calibrate routine methods for fat and protein, and also method for lactose, urea, somatic cell counting. And actually, it's for the present times on essentially cow milk. Even if we have already done it, do for use in sheep milk. But for the moment, we have not enough participants to carry on organization in such PTs. So the evolution of the participation in PTs for fat is that one, not a big progression, relative stability depending on years. I would fear that there is small decrease the last year, but it's not very much significant. So we expect that more laboratories participate in the future, and we strive to promote a little bit more this kind of trials, and especially with the development of the international anchorage. Protein shows same picture that same as fat. And lactose, the levels are a little bit similar. Urea is not really a criteria for genetic, but it's more for farm management. And somatic cell counting with a topical issue, actually, as I said formerly. So from SUS in 2004, Niagara Falls 2008, Riga 2010, we have promoted interruptory proficiency studies with the different issues possible for labs, measuring the performance, analytical performance, measuring the result in certainty. It's a topical issue for accreditation now. Comparing laboratories to assess equivalence, provide traceability to the international truth or reference, qualifying, selecting reference or expert laboratories, thereafter to provide true values in a system we should define, assessing, certifying reference materials, so as to provide them to the national levels who could relay to the routine labs. So all this to build up consistent reference system at national levels and at international levels. So to conclude on the network implementation, so nominations are made by national organization. 41 members, 3 new members in 2011, Croatia, Germany, Japan. Need to expand more widely for worldwide recognition purpose with new ICAR members. So targeted Latin America, Asia, of course, Russia, not yet member of ICAR, but all the associated countries around Russia, the CIS countries. Qualification. We note an increase of mission number, and with regard of international proficiency testing schemes, almost regular, I should say, participation, about 40-45% of laboratory network members. That should be increased in the future. Thank you for your attention.